to set up their LinkedIn account and understand the importance of LinkedIn to build their personal brand and grow their business. Mais une des choses la plus importante sur LinkedIn, c'est le réseau. Donc, pour avoir un réseau fort, c'est en gardant le contact avec les gens que vous avez rencontrés. Donc aujourd'hui, on est plusieurs ici. Mais beaucoup vont partir et ne vont pas laisser de carte d'affaires, ou ne vont pas nécessairement s'ajouter. Donc je vous invite à faire une chose ensemble. If you can just use your LinkedIn app, we'll use like a new feature in order to connect all together. Donc on va se connecter sur LinkedIn. Il y a ici en bas My Network, ou mon réseau.
You click on My Network on the bottom.
Il y a deux petits bonhommes en bas, comme ça, c'est un petit logo. Et puis il y a My Network. Juste devant My Network, il y a un autre bouton bleu, si vous voulez voir ici. Est-ce que tout le monde l'a trouvé?
So there's a blue button on the bottom right.
Avec un plus. Et là, si vous appuyez, vous allez avoir Find Nearby, à proximité. Si vous cliquez sur à proximité, vous allez avoir Enable Bluetooth. Et à partir de là, je vais vous montrer. I would like to chat a bit with you today. Okay? That's it for me. Merci beaucoup. J'espère que cette nouvelle fonction est utile. Merci so much.
In case you'd like to tag us, it's Ingrid Gilbert Coach, and your Instagram account is?
The New Travel.
Okay, and also the same for the YouTube account.
The New Travel is my YouTube channel. I also do Instagram content, and my name is Dan, so nice to meet everyone.
So I'm we are really excited to be here. We took the time this week to talk, to discuss, to get to know each other a little bit better. And also, as Patrick mentioned, feel free to jump in at any given time. You just raise your hand and I'll, give you the mic, the invisible mic.
The mic.
Yeah. So maybe just to, start things off, maybe you let us know about how this journey has started for you, maybe in 2013, and you take us to 2020.
Yes, exactly. So, long story short, I'm a travel YouTuber. So I work full-time as a YouTuber. I make travel videos. I've made about 400 travel videos. Many of them feature Nari, that's my girlfriend. But mostly I'm a one-man team. I'm doing the editing, I'm doing the video, I'm doing the outreach to brands and the business side of things, the less glamorous side that is in many ways the more important side.
And how did this started?
Yeah, so I actually came from a writing background. So I had a travel blog. I always loved to write. And maybe this will be like some inspiration for some other people who want to reinvent themselves, because I was not successful with my blog. Like I always tell people, I probably had like 5 readers on my article and 2 of them were my mom and dad. So like it was a rough beginning. And over time, I realized around 2014, 2015, like this video thing is really becoming big. We all have phones in our pocket that can do HD. Like the way we consume media is changing. So I started doing some videos just to support my blog. I would do an article and then I'd put a video. Like I'd be traveling somewhere, I'd do some little video. And I quickly realized that the videos were getting more views than the blog. So I completely shifted my focus, doubled down on video content, started very humble and very basic, slowly grew my audience, and it's been a 5-year journey since then.
I think it's amazing. I think it's really important for us to remember, because sometimes we have an idea. We started one way, as you like you started, the blog, coming from the background, and this is pretty much what made sense to you.
Yeah.
And then from there, you tried something else. So you're always reinventing yourself, right? Something is working-ish.
Yes.
Not really. First, it allows you to realize this is something that I really love, because I keep on doing it, and I keep on doing it even though I have maybe 5 people that reads or not my articles, including my parents. So it's
yeah, and to that point, it's also about sometimes having the vision to step into like a new field, because like let's be honest, if I go to a family reunion and I tell my family like I'm a YouTuber and this is my job now, some people will get it, but most of them won't. Like I have a lot of weird conversations with like older aunts and uncles who are like, so this is a hobby, this is your job, what are you doing? Because this career didn't exist even 10 years ago. Like, it is all very, very new.
Yeah.
So, oh yes.
I think the question who everybody wants to ask is, do you live from this or not?
Oh, we
Yes.
will get from there. Yeah. Okay.
First thing that I thought about it when I saw like traveler or influencer, YouTuber,
We will get. Yeah.
they can live from it. When did you start to live from it?
Should I answer now or should we?
Well,
is that
actually,
the
no.
surprise?
It's not a surprise. I believe like a lot of people want to know that, and also how can you live like different ways. We talk about merchant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are most people interested in knowing like how to monetize online content? I can jump ahead to that part.
Yeah. You go ahead. And maybe.
But
you
what was I
mentioned
saying just before that? It doesn't matter, maybe.
Well, no, but then it doesn't matter. Yeah, the background and stuff, how it started.
Oh,
and
yes.
then your uncle is like.
Yeah, just to finish that point, I wanted to say that, like, in your mind, you always have a vision of who you are and what you're capable of doing. And you might think like a YouTuber has to be super extroverted, like you love to be like kind of center of attention. Believe it or not, that's not who I am. Like, as a writer, I very much enjoy that, like kind of you need to be alone, you need to write, you need to create in that way. So I fell into this career by accident, but when you find something new, like you need to kind of be open-minded enough to say like, this is what I thought I was capable of, this is where it's moving to, and this is what I'm gonna follow. Because I believe life will give everyone opportunities like that, moments when you have a new career chance. Like maybe your friend says, oh, you could be good at acting, but you never thought of yourself as an actor, so you close that door. But if you open those doors, like really interesting things can happen.
Leave it open.
Yeah, leave a crack.
Yeah. So how?
Yeah.
Because the lady Selma was
Yes.
Wanted
So-
to know how are you
Yeah.
getting paid?
I asked this question that time. Why? Because for our family,
Yes.
why they are afraid for this kind of new work?
Yeah.
Because for them it's like artists. You can't live from it. So for this reason, if we can reassure them, reassure them that no, I can live with it. Don't be afraid about this.
Well, I mean, there is a part of it where the comparison to the artist is true, for sure. To give some context, I now have about 130,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Which is not nothing.
Yeah, which is not nothing. Well, thank you. But like after 1 year of doing it, I had about 1,000. So I think at that point I had made $0. I was not really making any money. The way YouTube works is if you make $100 of ad revenue, they send you a check. And then if you have enough ad revenue, and what I mean by that, everyone watches YouTube videos, of course. And there's annoying videos at the annoying advertisements at the beginning that everyone likes to skip.
And throughout the videos.
Yeah, sometimes throughout the videos. That money is shared between YouTube and the creator. It's a 60-40% split, which means if YouTube makes $10 advertising today, you get $6, YouTube keeps $4. So it's kind of a secret that not a lot of people are aware of, but if you have viral videos, it's not just a chance to be like, oh, look at me, like I got all these eyeballs, but YouTube is paying you based on the ad money they make. YouTube is a bit like secretive, but most creators think that it only counts for the full video views, the full advertisement views. So like we do recommend if you really like a creator, like if there's a 30-second ad, like play it through because they definitely get more money from that. They might get nothing if you immediately skip it, but again, YouTube is a bit secretive. But yeah, anyway, to go from that point where the first year, I didn't even get my first check of $100. That came after maybe a year and a half. But slowly over time, it started to grow. And now I get like one monthly check every month from YouTube. And I don't want to say the exact amount, but like it's less, if I were to add up all the hours I've worked, I'm still making less than like the minimum wage. Like I am like underemployed in that sense. But it's in the way, and also
it's a lifestyle. It's really important that you understand that. I mean, it's a lifestyle. So you
Yeah,
decide you want to travel. This is something
Yeah.
that you love, that you're passionate about.
it is a lifestyle, as you say. Like I have traveled to about 40 different countries. This year I went to Brazil, I went to Kazakhstan, which was very crazy because like Kazakhstan tourism saw my videos, they reached out to me, they invited me there, and I thought it was like, you know, you get like emails from like Nigerian princes. I thought it was like a scam. So I was like, okay, Kazakhstan, sure. I'm going to respond, but
Was it the prince that invited you?
no, it was the tourism board. Where else did we go? I make a lot of video in Mexico and
Just coming back.
Pennsylvania. I just came from a trip. So basically, I have reached a point where tourism boards see my content and they will invite me on paid trips to go and create content for their destination.
So you go to places that are already paid.
Yes.
Okay, you never like I'm gonna spend my money, go there, or you wait for those people to pay the tickets and then you go.
Yeah. So, like, how it worked was at the beginning, I had no audience, and I would like, let's say a small company wanted to work with me. Basically, they would offer me like a free tour.
Okay.
Like when we were living in Mexico a couple of years ago, a tour company might have seen my Mexico City video and say, we'll give you this free walking tour, make a video about it. As a creator, like if you are getting eyeballs, people will first offer you things for free. That's like the first stage. And then sooner or later, like you will get more audience. For me, it was when I got about 20,000 subscribers, I realized, you know, like if 10 people are booking the tour because of my video, like already I am 10x more the value for them. So you start to think a bit more business minded and you realize like, I should be getting paid for this work.
So you recommend people to create content on the city and then after they can travel with the money they get?
Exactly. Like if anyone wants to create content about Montreal, like let's say you want to work with, what's a big local?
Let's say you're
like, what's a
on the
dream?
go. And no, seriously, let's say
Yeah.
you're you, and then
Yeah.
let's say you are, and then this is what you do, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you tell us a little bit about that,
Yeah.
and then we include what you do. You know the documentaries, and then
Yeah,
you.
so I do like little, like small capsules.
Yeah.
Videos about different places. I visit different neighborhoods, and I'm gonna turn red.
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, and I go talk with the owner and about their stories, and just really nice to connect even more with the place, you know.
Did you start as a career, or did you start doing like free content and build up from there? Or like what was the journey to this point?
Yeah, I started to do free content, and I still do.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do it mostly for me. But slowly, I'm starting to, you know, with the Lashin, and so I'm at this phase that I'm getting.
Yes.
Like,
You getting noticed. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it started from nothing.
Yeah, but I would have another question related to that after.
Of course, yeah, I'd be happy to answer after. Oh.
Yeah.
By the way, I brought this just to show people like what I film with. This is my mic, my camera. If anyone has technical questions, you can ask me afterwards. But that's like the other side is like you start to get an arm workout when you're filming every day with these.
Yes.
How often do you post and how long does it take for you to edit the video and how elaborate is your video editing?
Okay, hold on a second. There's a lot of questions. Yeah, one at a time.
How
Yeah.
often does it post?
Yeah, hold on. How often?
Oh no, I can answer very quickly. I try to do 2 videos a week. And the video editing is a big part of it. People see the videos, and I feel as though a good online video can almost look effortless. Like it's, how can I put it? Like if you have a good meal at a restaurant, you almost feel like, oh, this was no work at all. Like the best editing is invisible in a way. You make it look effortless and easy, but most of my time is doing the editing. And that's a journey everyone needs to go through when you are new and you are learning.
And also, I feel like, because I've watched a few of your videos, and you're really, really amazing at capturing the essence of the place, of the culture, of the people. And I believe it's really, really useful whenever you're a content creator. No matter what you do, it's really important. What advice would you give people to do that? How did you get to that point?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I was having a conversation with Nick, Play Your Truth, in the corner. Very interesting guy. Yeah. And we were talking about how when you begin, like you have influences, right? Like everyone has someone they idolize. Like for me, I don't know if anyone knows Casey Neistat is a YouTuber, yeah. He was like my hero. He was the one who showed me like, oh, like you can make a career of this and like work with these big brands and stuff. This is cool. So I was kind of copying his style for a little bit at the beginning. But then you quickly need to carve your own path, because what I realized is like if you do that too much, you're always in that person's shadow.
Exactly.
Like, why would they watch you? They can watch the original, you know?
Exactly.
So you need to carve your own path and try to do
be
something
you
different.
Also. You wanna,
Yeah.
Like you want to find your own essence, I feel.
So I don't know if that speaks to anyone, but for me, I found that travel content can be quite superficial in that people focus only on the good stuff. Like if you watch travel videos or you see Instagram, it's all like the perfect like waterfall with the perfect photoshopped body, and you look at this and it's like, oh, like I'm not like these people. But let me tell you something. I've met those people. They are taking 100 photos, different poses to get that one perfect shot. They are like kind of miserable because it's a hot day and their cameraman isn't getting the lighting right. Like sometimes it's not fun to get those photos, but they hide that part. For me, if I'm traveling, I like to show the good, the bad, the ugly. Like I'll tell people, yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yes.
So that's my niche. I focus on real travel stories because anyone who travels knows like it's not always easy, but it's worth it.
A lot of travelers, they want to start their own blog, but they think they need to go away to Africa in a nice city.
It's for me, it's like, okay, who here loves to travel? Like, do we have an audience of travelers? Okay, everyone, good. So for me, what I love about traveling is like the newness, the way that a place is new to you and kind of unexpected. Because you go to another city, you always have an idea, but like it's never entirely right. Like you are always surprised in some way.
And you were surprised at which particular point in India? What was the place
Well,
that you loved the most?
in India, for example, I was surprised by, I mean, everything. Just like, you know, you have an idea about India and to be honest, like a place like India, you have sort of a negative idea about it. You think of the poverty and you think of like, oh, all these people on the streets and like, but there's actually a quite wealthy side of India as well. So there was a new high-speed train in the city Varanasi that I visited that had just opened 3 weeks before. And I made a video about that train to show like the new fastest train in India. And Indians loved it because it's really like a point of pride. Like, look what we have. It's not only China with the high-speed trains, like India has this too. So I find if you can like make content that makes people proud of where they're from, like find something that might seem like kind of like, oh, who needs a video about a train? People actually really care about that stuff.
Yeah. Alain has a question.
Yeah.
So you get revenue from advertising, but you also get sponsors. You also work directly with brands. Can you tell us how you reach out, or what's the process to reaching out to brands?
Very good question. So when you first start, you need to reach out. Thankfully, I'm at a point where more and more brands are coming to me. And the reason they come to me is because, even this event, I was contacted by Rec probably because I'd made Montreal content, with no intention of like, oh, I want to be branded as the Montreal guy. I just made a video about my city, which, going back to the question of doing content at home, is a great way to connect with local communities. So many travelers want to travel to other places because they seem exotic, they seem different, but maybe make 5 or 10 videos or photos in your local area. Optimize the hashtags if you're on Instagram, like do the location search, do whatever you can so local people can see it, and then you start to get connected by local brands. So that's one way. In terms of actually reaching out to them, it's a lot of cold call emailing. It's a lot of emails to inboxes, and like maybe 90% of them don't even reply. But maybe one of them does, and people don't like to hear it because it's not the sexy part of the job, but it is a bit of a numbers game. If you really want to hustle and make the opportunities happen, someone is going to want to do it.
How long would you say it took you, maybe before someone replied?
It took a while. Yeah, it took. I mean, like there was a point where I'm like, I'm going to pitch to like one new company every day.
Okay.
One every day, and like 365 a year. Like, of course you're gonna get opportunities. But I only kept that up for about 2 weeks. Like it's very hard. Like you have one bad day, you get stuck on Netflix watching Stranger Things, and then like next thing you know, you stopped.
Yeah.
But that advice was given to me by a professional travel photographer. So he's doing not so much YouTube, but he is selling photos to magazines and stuff like that. I'm telling you, his photos are good, but go on Instagram, there's a lot of good photos. What separates him is that hustle. that ability to go online. And going back to someone was talking about LinkedIn before this conversation. LinkedIn is the best way if you have the company's name and then maybe type in like marketing manager for, let's say, Bombardier or whatever. It's a great way to connect. And
it's a great way to connect and also take the time to know what it is that they do. And once you know what they do, what can you bring to the table? And how can you bring it? Be original, be creative. That's super important. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted, like, I tried that. It didn't go anywhere. So, like, how do you start that first conversation on LinkedIn without being awkward? Like, what are the things you need to say in that first approach, let's say on LinkedIn?
Hugo wants to answer.
Well, you can start creating content on LinkedIn and they're gonna see you there. If you create content and connect with them, they're gonna know you. When you're gonna reach out to them, they already know you because they saw your content on LinkedIn because they're connecting with you. That's one of the
Could I also just to follow up, like what kind of content do you make, or like what situation would this be?
Well, a bit like you. I used to do travel. Yeah. Now I just do photography in the city here. Okay. Portrait photography.
If you reach out, do you reach out with examples of the work? Do you reach out and say like, hey, here's something that I did, or is it more just like what's?
I don't do it anymore. But when I used to reach out with my travel blog. Yeah. Yeah, like just like I don't remember, like hotels. Like I would just never get an answer. Like they would read my message, seen, no answer. So I was like, what am I saying that's wrong?
Anyway, I would just say, like, I know we have other questions. I'll try to be quick, but my quick advice would be, do some work for free. Pretend as if, right? Pretend as if they've hired you. Like, let's say there's a hotel chain you want to work with. Go outside and pretend it's a job and spend an afternoon taking awesome photos and be like, hey, this is the work I'm capable of doing. This is for you. If you want to work with me, like, get in touch. And sometimes they'll be blown away because they have so many people asking for stuff. Like, give me a job, give me this, give me that. If you give instead of ask, you know, like they will be like, whoa, this person actually did this.
Like become an expert as what they do, what they are already doing, and then find something that could be an added value also.
That's the secret to get away from the pack of people who are trying to approach, I think.
I know you guys have a lot of questions, and Danielle is here. Danielle is not going anywhere. I don't know if you were planning on leaving, but you're not.
I'll be here, yeah. I just did a trip to Pennsylvania with the tourism board. So I go there, I fly there. I've done a little bit of research, but mostly it is fresh. And then I film my day, or I film my weekend. That will be the video. I'm trying to do a video usually between 8 to 12 minutes. Just because through experience, I think about 10 minutes is a good length for YouTube. The reason, if anyone does videos, some people who are new will do like a 20, 25 minute video, but you have to think at 25 minutes, like you're competing with Netflix. If a viewer has 25 minutes of time, like they can watch a TV show, so like you have to be really good. But 10 minutes, like you're on your lunch break, 10 minutes, I can watch this, right? So I try to keep it shorter, and to do that, to do 2 videos a week, I know I can edit them better. I know there are little moments that could be better, but I have to accept that, like, I'm not Martin Scorsese. Like, I'm just trying to share this journey and keep the audience, like, motivated to come back. Other people do 1 video every 3 months, and they get paid big bucks because it's so good. I mean, sometimes teams can actually work against you if there are too many, like, competing ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like that's why sometimes these brands with like 100 different creative consultants, like there's like too many voices, so they can't do anything truly unique, whereas we all have a truly unique idea inside of us. So if you actually, like, in some cases resist the need to get someone to validate all your ideas and just do something unique, like I don't know, like probably no one watches PewDiePie, but like the biggest person on YouTube, 40+ million subscribers, is just one Swedish guy who plays video games. And I think now he's got an editor and stuff, but he's not famous for like good editing. He's famous because it's just content, personality and content. That's what YouTube's all about.
The audience. I believe that's all the time that we had. Thank you so much. Danielle, stay here, see if you have questions. Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you so much. Thank you.